West Coast Davengers. West Coast Davengers.
There's only one mantra that you all need to know. That's that one over there. See Todd, bye Todd.
And the Todd father says, and we listen.
Yeah, actually, I've been talking with them, and they want me to do some more covers. That was an email that happened today. So
sweet, yeah. And we're yeah, you did too, right? But one hasn't gotten published yet.
Well, no, I found out today it's coming out. It's Kingspawn 52 or 53, which is like October or September, I think.
Ooh, okay, cool. Well, for anybody that doesn't know who I'm talking to right now for some reason, it's not Mr. Cyan. It's Shawn Crystal, who is Mr. Cyan. Yes. Two Jews, one Wednesday, and here we are. So, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm busy.
Yeah, why don't we show off what you've been busy with? Because last time you were here was launch day.
I was prepping. Yeah, people don't realize like Kickstarter is like if you want to drive it, it's full on job.
Yes, yeah, awesome. You don't get to do anything but eat, sleep, breathe, shit, piss, drink. Kickstarter for 30 days, and then you can rest for a second, and then you got to go into
fulfillment.
Fulfillment mode. So,
but this is part of my new business model. I'm stoked. I am doing other work while doing this. It's because I've got the class with Jake is going on right now, and that's going really well. We're about 6 weeks in, and we've already made our plan for it to be available next year. And I'm doing some freelance work, but it's like tattooing too, all of it. Yeah, doing a lot. So this is my Kickstarter, right here.
The anti-AI art book. And but no, you're going strong. I mean, we're 11 days, 10 and a half days, and you're almost to 20K. And you've got we hit what, 2 stretch goals already, or we hit 1 and we're
the second one is at 20K. I did the first stretch goal at 10, second one at 20, then I did increments of 5 because I figure, the higher you get, you're less likely to hit them. But that drop patch is gonna look so cool. I really want to hit that one.
Yeah, me too.
It's because with Jim, like I'm getting a jacket and I'm gonna put like all of our patches on it. So I got Jim's saved from the Savage Street Vigilante. I want to get the drop on there. If Mateo does one, and then Jim's Arachnid Enforcer, it would be cool to have all that.
Thank you for putting that in the chat, Derek. And if you don't want to hit the link in the chat, the link's in the description below. Yes, that is a good question. Why isn't there a stretch goal of $69,420? 69,420 should be a stretch goal. Where how about this? I'll even name what that stretch goal is. If we hit that stretch goal, there's going to be a tier, and it's going to be $1,000 tier. You get the book, you get all this cool stuff, and then Shawn will fly to you, and you have to provide the blunt, and he'll smoke a blunt with you.
Hey, I'm down. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Only open to U.S. states that are legalized weed. So Derek asking the important questions, and obviously after you smoke the blunt, you guys
wait. Breakfast. Now, okay, you get a bagel if you hit it. Now, I don't have a bagel stretch goal. I think I messed up, Dave.
Guys, that means it's bagel time. It's bagel time. Motherfucker, bagel time.
Eat it. I'm jonesing for a bagel so bad. I don't know if I told you last time. So I think I was bragging on my local bagel shop here.
Yeah, you are.
They're fantastic. But did I tell you they burned down? The shop burned down. So there was a fire.
Waiting for them to open back up.
Right. So they found a temporary location. It's literally I could walk to it from my studio. It's like kismet. And so I'm just waiting for them to be like, like today they put up a message like our ovens are warming up. I'm like, I need a fucking bagel. It's been so long.
Well, like I said, I've got Howdy Bagel here in Tacoma. I'll probably go tomorrow. I usually good to go once a week because then it can get really out of hand, the bagel addiction.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like when you buy a dozen on a Sunday and Thursday you're eating a bagel, and you're still loving it. It never reaches the point where you're like, I don't love this. You're just like, what am I doing to myself?
Stylish Nerd, JWR.
Hey, what up, Stylish Nerd? Have you met Stylish Nerd?
I have not.
So we just met him for the first time in Dallas, Fan Expo. Mateo and I met him.
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome dude, and his girlfriend's great. And so Mateo did this commission of Nightwing for a guy, and Mateo just went into dumb shark mode, did this beautiful commission, and he did it the wrong size.
Oh no.
So he was like, look, I'll do it for the right size for you. So he had this piece he was going to sell at Fan Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd saw it and loved it. It wasn't cheap. Mateo's not super expensive, but he's not cheap.
Sure.
And he was looking at it, his girlfriend was looking at it, then they left, and then his girlfriend ran back to look at it, asked about the price again, and left. And so that night we were at dinner, and Mateo's like, I think she's gonna buy it for him. And the next morning she like ran over, like, look, I'm gonna pay for this.
Oh.
But I'm not gonna, but leave it in the portfolio. And when he comes back for like the ink pulp photo, give it to him. So we did, and they're awesome. So
that's awesome. I love that. I've had people buy stuff for me before for a significant other, and it's always like, just don't say anything. I even had people reach out to me and be like, what do you think this person would want? And and so like I've always been, well, we share this gene. We're probably really, well, you're probably really good gift giver too.
Yeah. I am, dude. I'm epic.
Yeah.
Epic gift giver.
Speaking of Mateo, and I want to tell the chat this, but I've asked you before, and we'll make it happen eventually. But chat, would you like to see a direct edition episode with me, Shawn, Jim, Mateo, and maybe even the Scottish delight, Jazzy Jamie? Because I want to make this happen. Because I think it would be fun to talk about the podcasting creating side of what everybody's doing, and I'm doing it. Yeah,
would love to. And there's one guest you'd have to include in the mix.
Oh, Kennedy.
Someone's coming back to the show.
Eric?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I like, dude, when you guys did the live stream the morning of it,
so good.
Eric being the kind of the mouthpiece of that, being, the cattle wrangler, he was great. Great.
Eric's amazing. He really brings something special to the show, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a little bit of weight off of me and allows me to me and Mateo can act more like the kids, which is our fun space. So, but Eric brings something to the show that is he's smarter than us. I'll just put it to you.
He's he's just like it takes a split second before he starts talking, like he's about to say some very smooth, monotone, smart words.
Yeah.
I like that. We should have Jamie read Braveheart quotes for 47 minutes straight. I don't know if Jamie is one of the typical Scottish, but typical Scottish people fucking hate that movie. And it's not even because they hate Mel Gibson. I think they just hate that movie.
I need to ask him. He hates when I do the Scottish accent. He hates it.
I get it.
Dude, Brett Bean had me on the floor. He was leaning into it. It was driving Jamie crazy. Oh, that was good stuff.
What's up, Sam?
What's up, Sam?
Yeah, I think also, us doing a podcast would be, that's awesome. See?
Yeah, they're awesome.
I think doing a podcast with like 6 of us would be unhinged 100%, but it would also be like, I don't know if we get anything important down on record, but I think people would enjoy listening to it.
I do think we would. We have, I think on our show, we have a good, like single mind thing. Like I was listening to, cause I listened to my shows.
Yeah. You
see
should.
How we did and to see what I liked, what I didn't like. And I'm listening to the Craig Thompson episode that came out on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's me, Jim, Mateo, and Craig, and it's awesome. Like the 3 of us really work well together. And then, like you said, the stream with Eric was like great.
Yeah. And you guys, I mean, because we don't have kayfabe anymore, I have to find something to watch that fills that kind of hole of not just the information, but the camaraderie and like
Yeah.
the back and forth that I love to hear. And you guys do it so well. And like I get my laughs in, obviously. But like the Scotty Young episode, like it was good to hear him talk business, even though I'm not a publisher or anything, but I like hearing all the
Yeah.
different sides. I think my favorite interviews that you guys have done have been with Marco, because Marco is this like he's like this guy that's almost mythological in a way in comics. And then I just recently saw some of his pencils, the Comic Link auction, one of his covers. Holy fuck! I mean, he's Alex Ross level with those pencils.
Oh, absolutely, dude. The guy left comics to start a video game company, and ended up being the house for every big video game company to hire to visually develop their games. I mean, they developed the Arkham Knights game, they developed everything, and now movies are coming to them.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Marco thing is, I would have never thought to reach out to him because, like you said, he's like Alex Ross.
Yeah.
I just got an email one day like, "Hey, Marco would love to come on the show." And I was like, "Mateo, dude, look at this." He was like, "Let's do it." And he came on, and it was just, we hit it off. Like you saw it in real time. We didn't speak before that. We got on camera as he was setting up, and it was like immediate. Yeah. And then he was like, "I want to come back." Like Marco hates everybody, but he loves us, and he loves the show, and he hates shows. And so, I mean, he's been on twice, and now that Eric's coming back, we're definitely bringing Marco back for that one.
And for anybody who doesn't know, because I didn't say his last name, we're talking about Marco Djurjevic, who, I mean, he left his mark, and it was a lot of variant covers, but these variant covers, like they're huge pieces that they have to do over the course of like 4 or 5 issues or 6.
Dude, he did almost 300 covers in 2 years.
Crazy.
That's insane.
It is. I mean, Peach has got like that level, like she's operating at that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show's great. And I think if you're not subscribed, just in case you're not subscribed to Ink Pulp, I put that down below too. But the Kickstarter is really what we're talking about. And yeah, and I'm really into, like, I love editing. Me and Jamie have had a lot of conversations about editing, and so nice. I made an ad for your Ink Pulp. Friends, this is definitely my glowing endorsement of how I view Shawn as a creator and for the Kickstarter. And Shawn has not seen this yet. So
I have not. I can't even imagine. I'm not even trying to imagine.
Here we go.
After my first dose of the antidote, I know how to save our craft from AI. I'm hard at work with Dr. Pulpenstein. Gotta run. They're so young and their skin is so fresh. Like it just looks beautiful in there. I discovered like the best skin is like 20-year-old like goth person. Like my creative process with insight into the hows and whys of what I do. This is not just another book showing someone's art. This is a book about craft. And you can get it now. The campaign is gonna make billions. We're rich, bitches!
They're so young, their skin is... Back the Kickstarter. Give me your money.
That was delicious.
And that, in a nutshell, is what your Kickstarter is all about.
Dude,
skin.
That's awesome. Can we please put that on socials tomorrow?
Yes.
That is amazing. That is amazing. That's a lot of work. You took audio clips from different things and put them together pretty seamlessly. That's pretty awesome.
And here's how deep my like love of putting stuff like that together goes. Like, I thought about watching our entire direct edition interview today and taking like little sound bites and making you say like the most ridiculous things, like it's all about the money. I just want money, like all of that, but I don't have that kind of time in one day.
No, and you shouldn't. Honestly, you shouldn't.
But I'm it's something that like me and a lot of people my age like us, we'll talk about like the stuff that we grew up watching, whether it would be kind of the beginning of like stuff like Liquid Television, Ren and Stimpy, but Saturday Night Live with fake commercials. I like, like Tim and Eric grew up watching that stuff, and their style of editing is like that too.
Did you grow up going to the Spike and Mike animation festivals?
No, I never did go, but I know a lot about those.
Yeah, dude, I dragged all my friends in high school there. Like, my friends were not comic nerds. Like, I was like this like loner comic lover amongst the my friend group, which was like the cool kids in the high school. And I was like, guys, let's just get really blasted and go to this. It's going to be awesome. And they lost their minds. They're like, that was the weirdest, most amazing thing I've ever seen. So we went every year.
So much stuff.
And then Liquid Television came on, which was a lot of the shorts from Liquid Television were from that Spike and Mike thing.
Yeah, and it all like kids in the hall, the state, these troops that were, they were in everything. They had their hands in everything. And to me, the culmination of like that weird shit with editing and dark humor was Wonder Shows. Yeah. Did you ever watch Wonder Shows on MTV in the early 2000s? It's like Sesame Street on acid, where they would take like puppets and they would harass people in New York City. And then they would have hired kid actors. Like they hired this kid actor to walk around Wall Street and ask like people that worked on Wall Street, what is the sound that an oppressed person makes? They had this kid Trevor walk around as Hitler, dressed up as Hitler, and just like challenge adults. They had a segment that was called Kids on the Street, Kids on the Beat, and then the logo was Beat Kids, 2 fists tattooed Beat Kids, but like, the beat. And it was this show that relied heavily on crazy editing. And it ran for 2 seasons, and it's still like one of the most legendary things that MTV ever put on.
I've never heard of that. I have never heard of that.
They would do jingles about slavery, and it would be like slaves built the pyramids and like all this stuff. And it's like, it's all, it's all like, just what's the word I'm looking for? Satirical humor. So, but anyway, yeah, so I made that promo for you. We'll put it on socials tomorrow.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, put me as a collaborator. That was good. That was nice.
I think one thing that you guys really love and like harp on when you guys do your podcast is like how comics are, there should be humor mixed in with this, whether we're talking about the comic news or like creators, or we're talking about comics, or we're just talking about art. Like, the medium started from a humorous place.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With the exception of war comics that started from World War II.
Yeah. But what's funny is we were talking about this with Dean Haspiel on the show, because he actually studied under Kurtzman.
Right.
And he cites Kurtzman as like the father of modern comedy, not just comics, but National Lampoon and everything spawned out of his comedy. But he also wrote the best war comics.
Yeah, because he saw the horrors. I mean, but yeah, Mad Magazine, when you think about Mad Magazine too, what him and Gaines did with Mad is like, I imagine anybody that started in comedy in the 50s or 60s, especially like the guys that went on to be TV and movie, I bet they were all reading Mad Magazine.
Oh, without a doubt.
You can trace back, like even Weird Al talks about it, how one of his biggest inspirations as a kid was Mad Magazine.
I mean, it was so popular. It went on to have like a sketch comedy show in the 90s.
And it started as a comic. It's like the OG comic adaptation that was not really an adaptation.
Right.
I mean, the Turtles are a great example because the first iteration of the comic was dark with humor, but it goes on to spawn all of these things that we grew up watching, 90s kids, as the movies, the TV shows, the video games, were all humorous.
Yeah.
Mad TV was fucking hilarious. It gave us Will Sasso, for God's sakes.
Yeah, dude, Will Sasso's great.
Yeah.
I used to love, I don't think they do it anymore. Did you ever listen to the 15-minute podcast?
No.
or was it the 10-minute podcast? I think it was the 10-minute podcast. It was Will Sasso. I can't believe him. Chris D'Elia and Brian Callen.
Okay.
And it was just 10 minutes long. And it was just the three of them kind of being themselves, but almost like a fictional version of themselves. It's the funniest podcast ever. Huh. And Will owns it. He just owns it. It's so good.
I always liked him, especially because he would show up on wrestling, but he's like, man of 1,000 imitations. And it's always, that kind of humor always got me. And I miss seeing him on TV all the time. Cause Mad TV was on for years, and he was like the Horatio Sands before Horatio Sands was Horatio Sands.
Right.
Now Keena Thompson, I guess, is the new one of them, because he's been on SNL for fucking 20 years or 25 years.
Yeah, he's been on a long time. Yeah, what a funny career. I never would have seen that coming, but yeah.
Yeah. From Good Burger to SNL.
From Nick TV to SNL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his Arnold's really good, and his Jesse Ventura is amazing too. So back to the Kickstarter. What do we there's gonna be a couple of stretch goals, but there's a special one at 35,000 because
so what we have, we're about to hit 20 is a Keep Craft Alive bookmark, which will go good with the book. But the big one I really want to get to, hey Cosmer, what's up? The big one I want to get to is the 35,000 stretch goal, because when I hit this stretch goal, I'm going to print ink pulp cyan.
Right.
Like right now, you can get the free PDF. It's on my Kickstarter campaign. You can download it for free. But at 35,000, I'm going to print it, and it's going to be a free for anyone who's pledged for the book and the prints. It's called the Hip Hop Heroes tier. Mm-hmm. So anyone who's pledged at that level will get a free copy of ink pulp cyan. And like when I planned this whole campaign, a year ago, I had this idea that it would be so cool to like be able to give people a second book for free, like a totally different book. So I'm really wanting to get there, and I need your help, Dave. That's the bottom line.
Well, I said I would help if
this is like, I feel like we're about to like say, where's the Afikoman? That's what this feels like.
It does. Well, I said I would help if you offered up one of your Martian Manhunter 3 incentive variant covers.
All right, so
oh my God. I mean, I asked Shawn if he would trade one of those to me, and I offered him 3 blocks of cheese, 12 Turoks, and a dry hand job. And he said no. He said thank you for the offer, but no.
I think Turoks are great.
Well, you said you're
that almost had me.
Yeah, you're lactose intolerant.
So, I mean, aren't all Jews?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We've had enough tolerance in our life. Now we're intolerant. So
I got 5 of these comps, and I actually signed one at Fan Expo, and then I was like, oh, these are out. Like I didn't think I'd ever see one, and I went and looked on eBay, and they're going for a good bit of money. But I'm going to make a deal with you. Okay.
If you guys watching get him to 35K, he's going to give me one of those.
I'm going to give this to you.
And he's going to sign it and do a Jar Jar Binks remark on it.
I thought you wanted a bagel remark.
Both.
Okay. Jar Jar Binks eating a bagel. But seriously, if you guys can help get the Kickstarter to 35K, Dave is going to get this, and he will probably put it on the show and brag to all of you and make you feel bad for helping him get this.
And then I'm going to sell it for $475,000.
Oh no!
Then I'm going to move to Mexico, and I'm going to call myself El Ink Pulp.
El Ink Pulp.
By the way, Chris, aka Comic Tropes, would like to know what impressions you do, and you can't say a Jewish man.
No, my house calls me the racist because my impressions are funny, but
not meant for public consumption.
Public consumption. I don't know. I mean, I play around a lot. I like to think they're good, but they're probably horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
The
I'm not
only
like
one
you guys. Like Chris is like trained in, like he's practiced in this. I can't like compete with that.
The
I'm
only
just
one
a
I do without fail, like it's I like to think it's the best imitation is Vincent D'Onofrio as the Bug in Men in Black.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I'd like to have some sugar, some water. There's a friend. It's a pet cat. It means worlds to me. I'd like to have it back.
Anyway,
That's good. That's good.
yeah. I watched that movie a lot when I was young, so yeah, there you go. Shawn, want to come on my Monday night show? He'll push you. I mean, he'll push your project.
Yeah, Chris, I sent you an email thanking you for mentioning it and said if you want me to come on, I'd love to come on. And Monday's perfect. So let's talk after this show. If you didn't get that email, send me a DM. If you did, just hit reply and we'll figure it out. Thank you. I would very much like to come on. I appreciate it.
And if you just want to communicate with him in person, leave matzah under your pillow.
Oh, is it? Well, we've got our afikoman.
There it is. In front of my Vanessa. Dave, try an impression of Jaws from Jaws 4. It makes it. They made like. Did you ever see the fourth Jaws, the Revenge with Michael Caine, and the shark follows them to the island? Yeah, they made it have a roar.
But he was in 3 also, or
no,
just 4?
that was Louis Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid.
Okay, so 4 was the one at the SeaWorld place?
No, 3 was SeaWorld, 4 was in the Caribbean.
Okay, I saw them both. I was a kid. I just they're blurring together. All I remember is in Jaws 3, it was 3D, and there was the head floating in the tank, like the decapitated head, which I don't understand because like, why is a shark gonna like if he's gonna eat you, he's gonna eat you.
Yeah,
not gonna spit out the head.
He's the Jason Voorhees of sharks. He cuts things off. Yeah,
right.
So I do know the cast of every Jaws movie without fail, without fucking fail. I know it all. There is one great Jaws movie, one perfect Jaws movie, and then there's a bunch of shark movies called Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I've made the mistake of watching the Megalodon movies.
Oh yeah, those movies.
Just because I was sick and I was like, what's this? And they fall apart harder and harder and harder.
Well, and then like it's too long of a movie. Like,
yeah,
a shark movie should never eclipse 2 hours is Jaws, but that's perfect. It should really never eclipse that.
Jaws is a movie, and I can't put that with the other shark movies.
Yeah. I Deep Blue Sea though, cult classic.
That's one I haven't seen, but I saw a clip of it recently. I was like, I think I want to watch that now.
Dude, it's got
that's the one with Ice Cube, right?
No, LL and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, LL. That's
and Thomas Jane and Saffron Burr. I'm gonna do this. I know the whole cast, but there's a theme song rapped by LL Cool J, and the chorus is "Deepest bluest, my hat is like a shark's fin."
Oh well,
it's awesomely bad.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's a callback to his good stuff.
Yeah, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. No, there's that.
Yeah.
If there's ever a shark themed ink pulp, I want to join in. And since I can't draw, I just want to talk about sharks while you guys are drawing.
Well, I mean, look, one of us is nicknamed the dumb shark already.
That is true.
Kind of built in.
That is true. Yeah. How did he get that? How did Matteo Scolari get the dumb shark nickname?
Okay. So that's a story he told on the podcast. He was talking about his addiction to food and how like he's lost a good bit of weight. And he was like, well, I sit down to eat and like I go into like what I call dumb shark mode where I'm like Bruce in Nemo. My pupils get black and I just shove food in my mouth. So then it became a joke whenever Matteo does something where he's not thinking, it's just dumb shark mode. And then he leaned into it even harder where he released an art book and he called it Dumb Shark. And the cover is the self-portrait of him with sharks swimming all around him. So
I've never seen that book. I need to see it.
Hold on one sec.
Oh, we're getting a little show and tell from Shawn. I see some EC. Wow, look at all those books. Look at those good books.
So the cover I was talking about was the PDF version, but this is the dumb shark.
That's awesome.
So what he did is, if you go to Mateo's website and sign up for his newsletter, you get a PDF of all of his prelims for his covers that are not printed in any of these books, and that's called Beyond the Fin, and that's the cover with him with all the sharks swimming around it.
Chris, he's no longer apprenticing. You're good to go. Right?
I'm still apprenticing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even like I'm going to start charging soon, but even when you start charging, you're still apprenticing. You're a tattooer, but you're still basically under the guidance of a mentor. But yeah, I mean, I'm tattooing. I'm fully tattooing now.
Yeah, you are, and I'm one day at some point. It's gonna. I've got spots left. I got some real estate left.
All right, good.
Yeah, left ass.
I mean, I'm basically gonna end up probably bringing my equipment to some cons here and there, and there'll be some shenanigans, I'm sure.
We'll be in Florida next year, or together.
Well, I am. I mean, we're talking about doing the tour, right? Starting at OAX and going from there. And I'm thinking about maybe coming into Florida early and trying to guest at a shop. So telling anyone, if you're going to OAX and you're wanting a tattoo, because I am getting a lot of requests for that, come in a day early and come to the local shop, and I'll do it there. Which means I'll have my equipment with me.
Sweet. Well, yeah. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, also part of me is like, it'd be so fun to just like, maybe this is good for you. Like a quick little tattoo, just duck behind the banner. I'll have a station ready to go and zip it out.
You do like the ink pulp thing right on my neck.
Right. Just
right there. And it's like, oh, you went to prison? No, I'm like, I'm just an idiot.
But exactly. But Fan Expo Boston has a tattooing section. And I'm trying to talk to Jason about maybe Sunday, like just lining up one tattoo.
Yeah.
And like closing out the show by doing a tattoo. I think it'd be fun to have that going on at a con.
You know what's interesting? Here's a thought from a serial killer brain, that if I ever got a tattoo and I wanted to sell the original art and cut my skin off,
there you go,
frame it and be like, here's some original Shawn.
Yeah, get some formaldehyde in there, it'll be fine.
Skin art. Wow. Well, it's been a while since I've worn anybody else's skin, but it's been a while since I've sold my own. There we go. Turok one full. So here are the tattoos that have been suggested so far: Jar Jar on my face, a bagel tattoo.
Bagel tattoo would actually be a fun, quick one to do.
It would. And then, all right, Derek, time for a Dave. Oh yeah, so Shawn's gonna do a Dave Mustaine back piece on Derek, and then Mateo's face on Tom's ass crack.
Are you a Dave Mustaine
degenerates
fan
right now? Would you say?
Are you a Dave Mustaine fan?
No, I am a fan of the album Countdown to Extinction, and I love the song Hangar 18 off of, what was the name of the album that Hangar 18 was on? I like their first couple albums, but Dave Mustaine, absolutely not. All he does is cry about getting kicked out of Metallica.
He just cried again, saying they stole the riff from Sandman from him.
I know.
Like they waited 20 years. Now we can use it.
Yeah. What? The thing that pisses me off.
I never liked Megadeth. I loved the music, but once he started singing, I was out.
I kind of like, hello, me. Meet the real me.
I can't do it.
In my misfits way of life. No, I do like Symphony of Destruction. But anyway, I never liked him because, he built his whole career out of crying about them. And I'm like, dude, your band has sold tens of millions of records.
I mean, they were great. I don't know. Yeah, let it go.
Yeah, I think Dave's right. I'm just a fan of the name Dave.
Well, understandably.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about this. If we're all in OAX, I mean, all, like the whole Ink Pulp crew, Mr. Jamie included, we need to take Jamie and Mateo well, he won't drink the coffee. Mateo will get nothing out of this experience.
But expensive coffee.
The Cuban spot. No, to the Cuban spot.
Oh yeah.
Get a good sandwich. I mean, Mateo will get an egg and cheese.
Yeah, we know Jim will eat whatever's put in front of him.
Yeah, and get an ice cube and coffee. And I want Jamie to like experience that.
And then we're going to go to the place that we went to the next day. And
I want to go back there too. Yeah.
That
was wild, man. That was wild.
Yeah. Well, OAX is going to be a hoot next year. I'm sure there will be just a lot of fun had, and I just have to behave myself monetarily.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not what that show is about.
No, it's not. I'm going to exercise some of that, at least at Heroes. I'm going to try.
Heroes, it'll be easier because Heroes is so like social, and there's so much going on that like OAX, you're in a room and it's very easy to like keep walking by the same thing. You're like, there's that Way Shack again.
I spent $8,000 at Heroes last year. So
did you?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I bought a Way Shack cover. I bought
Nice.
I'll get it right. It's right here. Hold on. It was.
This is great podcasting.
Fuck off. One of his Armory Wars covers.
Oh my God, dude, he's incredible, man.
Yeah. I bought that. I bought an Alex Saviuk Spider-Man Adventures page, which kind of really reminded me of my childhood. Then I bought the entire Jim Rugg Ric Flair versus Kerry Von Erich story that was used in the A24 zine for Iron Claw.
Nice.
What else did I buy? I bought a commission from Ron Lim, a Thanos commission.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. I feel like I bought one or two other pieces, and after all that, I was like, I spent $8,000 on art. I didn't buy a single fucking comic at Heroes Comic Con last year.
But Heroes Con, you can get some good comics at. It's a good comic book show.
Totally. I just
I think for OAX, I mean, I'm gonna, now that McFarlane's people are like, we want just start sending us stuff. I'm gonna have $5,000 NFTs.
Yeah, I bought $5,000 of NFTs at Heroes Con. Tom, much love to you, brother, and I know you're halfway there. So kick that fucking cancer in the face and then in the dick.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have like my prelims sold out at OAX, so I'm gonna have some more painted prelims there. Like I just feel like at that show, like having like a lower price point nice item is a good thing. It's like you know, I got Dennis Cowan to the right of me, I got Klaus Janson to the left of me. Like I can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing about OAX that really does stand out, and everybody has heard me talk about this, but you've got the variation of price point from everybody. Like you can get your free sketches, you can get your prelims, you can get your like Jimmy Palmiotti brought a box of like $25 pages, and there was like hundreds of them. So I think people have their options, and I think these days more than ever that a comic artist like yourself or anybody else that's got a career of work, I think these days it makes more sense to be targeting every price point you can, whereas I feel like the old days it was just like, here's what I have, here's the prices, that's
right. Well, 2 years ago it was big tickets. Now the uncertainty of the economy.
Yeah,
we had Wrights and Pages in that box by mistake.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but anyway.
That's a cutoff. That's a reason to cut off. But yeah, I think I kind of saw it written on the wall going into OAX this year, and so I leaned more into the like the lower price point, like $300 to $500 things, and sold out of that. But I didn't sell a single big piece. And a lot of people I spoke to, that was kind of what was going on. And that's kind of what's going on at shows this year. Yeah. I even lowered my commission price. I'm not lowering the price of them. I'm just offering smaller commissions at a lower price point. And those are selling fast, but like the big stuff just isn't moving.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I totally do. And you're not the only person that's echoed that sentiment. That's been, we're 6 months into the year with conventions and people spending less money because we've just got so much certainty. And
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, but this Kickstarter I'm doing, my original plan was to launch it in November last year,
I
and then I
remember,
was like, this election is just gonna suck all the air. Like, no one's gonna spend money, and no one's gonna pay attention to anything but the news. I
yeah.
was like, all right, well, I can't do it in December. I can't do it in January. And then I was thinking February, but then Kickstarter was like, don't do it in February. And I was like, all right, March. And then I thought about it more, and then I landed on May. I was like, May will be good, and then I pushed it to June.
Well,
And it's like, right before the day I hit launch, it's like all the tariff stuff was going on.
yeah.
That's why I pushed it a little further. So I was like, I gotta see where this all lands, because I could price the book at this price point, and then this tariff jacks it all up, and
And
then
you
like
don't make
your
money.
Kickstarter made the goal and you did great, but I've lost money. Like, so it was tricky.
Who was it? Was it Scotty that was talking about how he watched friends like launch Kickstarters when they first started, and they all had to launch secondary Kickstarters to pay for shipping? I think it was Scotty that was
I
saying
I think it was Scotty. I
yeah.
saw I saw that happen to people too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, here's my take on it, and it's not because you're on my show or we're friends or whatever. Here's my take on it from somebody that does the content creation side like you do. I don't charge anything. Like, I don't have a Patreon yet, and the Patreon is obviously not a requirement for Ink Pulp, but it's worth it in my eyes. But we're no longer in a place, unless your name's Todd McFarlane, unless your name's Jim Lee, or whatever. We're no longer in a place where our favorite creators, our artists, are getting paid by the companies that they helped
Mhm.
build. And
Right.
whether it's with a book or with a character that went on to spawn billions of dollars. I look at it this way. If I want Shawn to keep creating art, I will support him with what I can. And the fact that I get this cool fucking hardcover art book to put on my shelf and take down and look at it whenever, once again, also from let's talk about the collector standpoint, because I own Jim Mafood's 2 art books that are
Mhm.
severely out of print and are worth
Yeah.
triple what the cover
Those are
price was.
those are amazing.
Right. And so if you want to look at it from a collector standpoint, this book, once the Kickstarter's done and, some retailers may have gotten it and you may be selling copies at a show, here and there, the couple of conventions, that's it. It's done. There's no
Yeah,
more
yeah,
copy.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And with that in mind, I worked with my book designer, Jason Gonzalez, to create a book that was an art object unto itself. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not just like, I just, I look at, I was thinking about social media. Like, social media used to be like Instagram, like, artist puts up a piece they did. Here's my art. Everyone loves it. Cool, 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 cool. Well, that changed. It's like, you can't just say like, hey, here's my art.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was looking at art books like that. I was like, what can I do to step aside from that, to be, create something that's a little more special than that. And, with Ink Pulp, everything I'm doing is about craft. The slogan, keep craft alive. I was like, this book needs to be about craft.
Mhm.
And that's when I started writing. Like, very few art books have writing in it, and I wrote, like, this is a process book. It's every stage of the creative process out of a painting or an ink piece or whatever, thumbnails, pencils, inks, what I was going for, where did I succeed, where did I fail, how did I do this? But it's also, I wrote chapters about, like, here's the tools I use. I
Yeah.
have a page on the brushes I use. Why do I use those brushes? The nibs, the ink, like, all of it. And so I really and that's why I leaned into this anti-AI art book thing, because it really is, there's nothing in this book that was done digitally. Like, it's all traditional. And the more and more I get into this craft path, I mean, I've always been on it, but I
Yeah.
guess it's the more I see people leaning one way, I'm leaning the other way. Like, I told you I'm doing this poster, it's gonna be silk screened. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a hand done poster, like, it's not gonna be digitally printed. And it's like, now I'm like, I just want to do that because that's a print, that's craft. Like I'm just and everything I do, I love, like people are going nuts because I'm using these stamps that have halftones on. And it's like I put up one video of me using it, and the amount of like DMs and comments, like, where do I get that? It was like, there's a real want out there for return to a human experience. And I think that's where things are going. I thought that about 3 or 4 years ago when I started the Keep Craft Alive thing. I was
Mhm.
like, I think we're going to see a real pushback. Like people are going to get tired of not knowing what's real and what's fake. People are going to get tired of looking at a screen. Yeah, see, Sam's talking about the stamps. People are going to want that human experience, and art is a purely human experience. That's why AI is so insane.
Yeah.
And we've lost sight of it. And every art history class, every artist always said it's not about the final piece.
It's
It's
how you
about the
get there.
journey of making it.
Yeah.
And everyone's so fascinated now and obsessed with the what does it look like in the end? You've lost the whole point of it.
You know, the whole what I was gonna say, I wanted to piggyback off of something what you said, people do different styles of art books, right? Zero Friends did an art book, which is like, here are all the artists that we have been friends with in this collaborative. Jim did an art book that was like autobio comics, and then he did the photo art book. Your art book is your personality. Like you're so into creating,
Mhm.
you're taking people, and it's like, I haven't read it obviously yet, but just through some of the passages I've seen and stuff, this is you talking about why you love it, why you do it, and how you get there from A to B to C to D.
Yeah.
And it's like a little documentary. This is not
Yeah,
just a
that
book. This
totally.
you know?
It's funny you say that because as I'm doing this poster, it's this big dream job of mine. I'm documenting it all. I'm filming myself making it. I'm filming like a vlog of
Mhm.
like why this is so special to me. And in the end, like I just want to have this little like 10-minute movie about making this. Actually, can you pull up the Kickstarter real quick? Because as
Yeah.
we were talking, I was thinking, and scroll down to the images. Yeah, let's keep going. There, they're there. So like,
This one.
yeah, blood of my art. Like this is all about the ink I use. Like I wrote all that about my inking, like the inks I use, why I use them, what I love about ink. Like this is a real look into me
Mhm.
as an artist. And I'll scroll down one more. And just I like I didn't put the intro. It's in the book, but
Yeah.
the Klaus wrote an intro for me, which is just about the most insane thing ever. But I was like, this is a book about craft. Like I really wanted to shoot high. Like, who could I get to put their stamp of approval on this that would really mean something? And it's Klaus. Because if there's one person I'm always having this conversation that you and I are having about craft, it's Klaus.
Yeah.
And it's like every con, it's usually at a breakfast, sometimes a dinner, we end up talking about it because he thinks inking, or he doesn't think, it upsets him to imagine that inking is a dying thing. And I keep telling him, I think inking is thriving and we're going to see a real incredible future with it. So we talk about craft a lot. So getting him on the book was just an honor.
Yeah, and that's pretty amazing. And I think I don't know, maybe you can say this is not accurate, and comic creators can chime in and say it's not accurate, but the rise of like the fact that people can print out digital pencils feels like inking is actually still very much alive, because people would, I mean, I just interviewed, like I told you, Alice Darrow, and she does print out pencils and she does inking because she wants to have that original art.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, if you're doing roughs or whatever, you're just doing, quick pencils, like inking is where all the detail comes in anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Totally.
I mean, I personally used to absolutely, and I know I could speak for a lot of the audience, I loved watching when Ed Pisker would do the live inking streams. It was the most serene, relaxing thing to
Yeah.
watch him and switch
People
out tools.
people love to watch inking. I think it taps into like when I love watching calligraphy videos.
Mhm.
Like to me it's the same thing. Like calligraphy is just it's inking. It's all about mark making. using one tool and getting a variety of beautiful rhythmic marks out of it.
Yeah.
And what I know that whenever I put a video up of me inking, I get a lot of attention on that.
Yeah.
And that's, again, people want it. That's a purely human experience.
Yeah. You want to see, you either want to see as an artist what the tools this person's using and the lines they're making, or as somebody that appreciates art, I just want to see what goes into making this thing that I'm going to hold the finished product of. It's like watching behind the scenes, like, like if a band puts out like a documentary or making an album, and you get to hear the vocal isolation and you get to hear the drum tracks being laid, or you get to hear somebody creating a riff in the studio. Like Green Day had done the 20th anniversary of American Idiot, and they posted a lot of videos of like Billy just sitting with the guitar, and in like 40 seconds he wrote the riff to, like he wrote Wake Me Up When September Ends, and you're like, so that's where it came from. Like, I'm not a musician or an artist, but I love seeing how the sausage is made.
Me too. And there's a lot of reels that I watch that are like the origin of a hip hop beat, and they show how it's made. I love that.
Dude, I don't know if you've seen it, but you know who Zane Lowe is? He's I think he's one of the best music interviewers out there. He started on BBC, but he's now like the Apple guy who does all the interviews. And he went to Damon Albarn's studio before Damon left and moved. And Damon busted out this Casio, hit the preset one. He's like, this is where Clint Eastwood came from.
Oh, dude, as soon as you said Casio, that's where my mind.
Yeah. So watching stuff like that is, it gets me going. It makes me inspired. It makes me love the things that I love even more. Klaus did a deep dive with Frank Miller about the spirit. Oh, interesting. I will have to look that up. Yeah, I love listening to Klaus talk, and I love listening to Frank Miller talk. Yeah, Tyler. When Todd would do his digital, I mean, those videos are sublime. Watching him just be like, yeah, you just put this line here, bud, and then up in here, and you get up in here and get out quick. Yeah. I'm like, what does that even mean? But I love watching.
Right. Yeah.
Todd loves that verbiage. Get out quick. It's like, okay. Yeah. I think trying to
that's
simplify
his personality. Like,
yeah.
Don't obsess. Get it done. Move on.
It's not magic until you hear Hetfield screaming at Lars and some kind of monster. And Phil Towley in there, and then Dave Mustaine crying. But yeah, I mean, just I really, really enjoy watching that. And I think Ink Pulp could definitely benefit from just solo inking streams for you if you're doing something, as a static video, not a live thing. It doesn't have to be live.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, this is my first Kickstarter, my art book, and then next year Ink Pulp we're doing one Kickstarter a year. Next year I'll kickstart. We're doing Mateo's Create Our Own book.
Yeah,
next year, and then the year after that will be the first issue of my anthology that I'm starting to work on now.
Sick. It's gonna be called the Bagel Anthology.
I need a name for it because I got to get a pre-launch page going so that when my Kickstarter is being fulfilled, I have a QR code to put in there. So I'm racking my mind on what to call it.
I mean, I could probably call it the Crystal Anthology, and I think that sounds cool, but that's up to you. I will say middle-aged men do have a pre-launch problem sometimes. So yeah, you got to work on
that. Wait, that's a middle-aged man problem?
Actually, it's a young man's problem. Oh God, my inside voice just came outside. That's what she said. There we go. There's a pill for that. There's a pill for everything.
There really is.
There we go. The crystal method. And it's just like you would get sued so quickly.
I'm thinking because it's gonna be an Ink Pulp thing. I'm hoping I get Jim and Mateo and Eric and probably Ramon to contribute short stories of their own. So I'm just, and I know I'm gonna have my own crypt keeper, and I know exactly who that's gonna be. I'm sure you could guess who it is. So
I figured that one came into my mind real quick. anybody coming up on the podcast that you're able to say, yeah, we recorded with this person already or something?
Yeah, I don't really hide that like ahead of time. I'm trying to think. I don't. I mean, we recorded with today with Patrick Kindlin. I don't know if you know him. He's a writer.
No.
He's also a lead singer in a like punk alternative band that's pretty popular called Drug Church.
Oh, I know Drug Church. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was on today. He was touring, so we recorded with him from France.
Oh, wow.
And we have another guest next week that Mateo lined up. I forget who it is. It's someone Mateo wanted to have on, and I don't think
clearly Chef Boyardee.
Well, yeah, of course, Chef Boyardee's coming on. I don't know. The short answer is I don't know off the top of my head. I know we're scheduled out, and I've got a lot of people that want to do it, but like getting them to lock in a date and time is tricky. Like I'm gonna give Ryan Otley a hell of a bunch of shit right now because he wants to come on and he never responds to emails. Then I see him at show, he's like, I owe you an email. I'm like, yeah, just tell me, does that date work?
Been trying to get him on for a while. I spoke to him in person last year. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. I'm like, well, I guess that's something.
Oh, Ryan said, yes, I want to come on.
Yeah.
I very much want to come on, but he's Ryan. It's just how he is.
He's also, I'm sure he's got that Kirkman fire behind him that keeps him busy all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I am right now. I'm trying to nail a date with Pepe Larraz because he wants to come on.
Nice.
And so we're finalizing that right now. Yeah. Also with the Kickstarter going on, I'm a little scatterbrained and not scheduling as far ahead as I usually do. So, actually, once this poster's done next week, I'm going to be locking down some podcast stuff.
See, your brain is still on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Live show. We were Maria Wolf was going to come on next week.
Oh my!
And then her deadlines caught up with her, and she had to reschedule. So yeah, I've got to fill some slots on there.
There's an idea. Just stand outside Otley's window, fly out to you, just hold it up. Yeah, it's like getting guests and then like getting your schedule. I mean, I admire you because you're doing this, which is a kind of a double guest show, and then you're dealing with co-hosts, which you have to line up the schedule with, man. It's like,
I'll tell you, Jim and Mateo, like working with them and Eric, like that's easy. Like we basically have our general time slots, and I used to like have to like, Mateo, does this work for you? Jim, does this have to work for you? And I just realized like I was spending too much time. I put it in the calendar, and if there's an issue, someone tells me, and we just move it.
It's a good idea.
Like, we're just friends and we talk all the time anyway. So it's not like that's the hard part. The hard part is just keeping up the schedule of both shows.
Sure.
On top of everything else I'm doing, lining up the guests, like just keeping everything in, like keeping the train going. Like,
yeah. And you have a family too.
Yeah.
You have a family too. Also, it's like, I do, it's like, or do you just be like, I'll see you guys in a couple months?
We have to record commercials. Like that's another thing. Like we have to have the thumbnail done for the live show. We need art for the thumbnail. We need a commercial. And thank God for Jamie.
Oh yeah. Jazzy Jamie Wood. Shout out to you.
If I had to stay on top of Jamie, I wouldn't be able to do this. He is just awesome.
Yeah. I spoke to him today. We were talking today. He's doing fucking like 5 podcasts now. And
yeah,
it's kind of nuts.
He's about to probably get a really good one.
Oh yeah,
really excited for him.
I'm sure he'll tell me.
Yeah, when it happens, because this person came to me, asked would I mind if
that's cool,
which was really cool. I was like, dude, your family, like I just want to see Jamie succeed.
Sure.
He told me when I met him, his dream was to leave his podcast editing job and start his own podcast editing business. He was able to do that within 3 or 4 months of getting together with us. And so I just want anything I can throw at him to make his dream come true, I will do. And
whenever he starts, oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say he will never put us at risk, the ink pulp stuff.
Sure.
I know that. So I mean, it was cool that this artist asked me, would it be okay? And I was like, not only is it okay, I think it's great. And let me link you guys.
Yeah. Well, when he finally, starts his own business that hires multiple people and he kicks that Mark Miller guy to the curb, he can produce my show. But yeah, I love watching you guys grow and seeing what you're doing, and you guys really get some good stuff. But he does so much great work, and
Dude, when I felt horrible. I had the idea to turn Kazra into MODOK for the commercial for the calf stream. Yes, exactly. See, Jamie's gonna be in Orlando. That's awesome. So I was like, Jamie, I just need you to be on, because Jamie will just do it. Like, he'll make himself go through hell just to do a good job. I'm like, look, I need you to be honest with me. Like, can we turn Kazra into MODOK? Would that be hell on you? And I could tell he was like, he wanted to say yes, but he wouldn't. He was like, if you can just tell him to be still when he's speaking, and then give me 5 seconds of footage of just his like shot without him in it, I can do it. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then he did it, and it's the best. It's the best thing ever.
He probably said, if that cunt could sit still for 3 fucking seconds, I'll fucking do it. Sorry, Jamie. That was bad, but it wasn't
Jamie,
that
wasn't
bad.
me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, but the thing is I've been to Scotland a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So I get that. I have a Scottish tattoo flag right on the inside of my arm here.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a card. I've got a card.
Oh, do you? I
got a card.
I'll see if Jamie accepts that card.
Yeah. No, it does. He does, and they do. Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't have any other cards. I have the Jew card, but I am Jewish. But the only card I need is the Scottish Jew.
All right, that works.
So, so yeah. I mean, I don't want to. I know it's later for you, so I don't want to take up too much time. But let's take a look at the Kickstarter again and just. We're 19 days to go. This book is a hardcover book. How many pages is it?
It's 118, I think is the exact number.
118 page hardcover book. And, I got it. I got the Ink Pulp Community VIP discount because I'm Mr. Discord or whatever the hell I am. But
yeah, guys, if you want to get the book, we have a discount for the Ink Pulp community, but it's hidden. And you can get it by going to our Discord channel. There's a link in there. It's also in our Patreon, and we also put it on the links on the podcast and the live show.
Yes.
So it's accessible. So if you do want to get the book, don't pay full price. Get the Dave's in the Ink Pulp family here, so
yeah, I'll direct you. If you can always DM me if you can't find it. And then, it's, I just like supporting people that kind of get me through whatever it is, the day, the week, the month, friends are friends, but even not, like, I'd support this. If I didn't know you before I met you. I didn't know Jim, like, know, so it's like, I would support you either way. Plus, it's art. Right now, we're in a soulless, cold, dead country, or not soulless and cold dead, but they're trying to make it soulless and cold and dead. And I go to the comic shop every week, and even if I'm not like really interested in anything, I'll buy a book or two just to support my LCS.
Yeah, I think that's what's really nice right now is people are really of the mindset of, let me go out and support. Like, I'm always supporting Kickstarters. We also use our platform as much as we can to help promote other independent creators and their Kickstarters. So I just think if we all just help each other, this community, I guess that's something that I'm really happy we were able to build and tap into, because I felt really heartbroken when I broke into comics and just felt like the community wasn't a community. It was people fucking each other over, people jealous of other people, and it was just ugly. And I came in a bit naive thinking like, oh my God, like this is a club of like people like, and I came in with a crew of friends. And I remember the very first job I got for Marvel, the Deadpool annual. I got my first interview on I can't remember the comic book news sites names. It's been so long. It wasn't Newsarama. It was Comic Book Resources.
CBR.
Yeah. And I did my first interview. I spent half the interview typing out all of my friends' names, what their work is like, and why you should keep an eye out on them. And I think like 60% of those people just fucked me over later. And I was like, this sucks, man. Like that hurts. So to have like my crew of friends that I have now, who we all have each other's back hardcore, and to be able to like cultivate a community of those type of like-minded people, I think is awesome. And I think we can really help lift each other up.
For sure. For sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. I sell comics, and that's how I make my money, but I create and I foster a community of people, and I want people to learn more about comics. I want people to learn more about the people that make comics. And, if you enjoy my brand of insanity, well, then you're indoctrinated into the cult, and I will never ask you to do anything to cause yourself harm. I will ask you to, receive a signed Turok from me, and that's it.
But I mean, or if you're lucky, you have a sign.
But I think also there's just, like you said, it almost felt like I was just like, I just did a bump. And so, yeah, there it was. And I was reading Rob Liefeld book, and I was like, wow, this guy's art's amazing. But no, I think as 90s kids, like my generation of kids, like you're a little bit older, not that much older, but we grew up not really having a community. We had people telling us what to buy and what was going to be hot. And now we have access to all of these indie creators, small creators that are trying to become indie creators, because at the end of the day, I think the goal is to create something that you own completely. That Stan Sakai interview that I did was like, that's the thing he's the most proudest of, is that he's the owner.
Yeah. And he's dedicated his life to Usagi, and it's amazing. It's amazing that he did it. Like he just made it work. It's incredible.
And the thing about his story, he talks about moving to LA and meeting Sergio and meeting all these guys that were a community. And I think more and more when we get through this year, if we can get through this year, I think community is the most important thing. And that's not just where you live. It's not just your friend group, but it's the things that you like. It's the circles that you hang out in. It's the music you listen to. It's the art that you support. And I think that's like the strongest thing. It goes beyond money, because if this show gets a couple of people just to support it, or to join Ink Pulp or hang out and watch those shows, and that just grows the community strength even more.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, the old saying is it takes a village. I mean, and that's what we've lost is that if we have a strong community, we can all eat. It's that simple.
Yeah. And we can enjoy the fruits together, and then eventually have a big orgy and really enjoy our fruits.
Catered with bagels.
Yeah, there we go. And with that, let's just take a look at this promo one more time, and then we'll get going.
Okay. After my first dose of the antidote, I know how to save our craft from AI. I'm hard at work with Dr. Pulpenstein. Gotta run. They're so young, their skin is so fresh. Like it just looks beautiful in there. I discovered like the best skin is like 20-year-old like goth person. Like my creative process with insight into the hows and whys of what I do. This is not just another book showing someone's art. This is a book about craft. And you can get it now. The campaign is gonna make billions. We're rich, bitches!
They're so young, their skin is... Back the Kickstarter. Give me your money.
That was delicious. So good.
And with that, link is in the description for the Kickstarter. The link for Ink Pulp, you just click on it, join up, enjoy. There's just a great time. Shawn, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
for being here tonight and hanging out. I love talking to you.
Thank you, Mr. Bagelman.
Yes. L'chaim to you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And thank you, everybody.
Amen.
And don't forget to hit the like button. I appreciate everybody. And yes, there will be skin. Everybody have a good night. And I'll see you Sunday. Big video coming Sunday. There's like an hour and 10 minutes of me flipping through comics. Bye.